What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with another album review for you guys, and today I am talking about the debut solo offering from Hellbutcher, the self-titled. This also came out on May 31st on Metal Blade Records, and, well, this is the debut album from the former frontman of Nifelheim. Well, he still is, but Nifelheim's on hold. We don't know if they officially broke up or they're on a hiatus and Hellbutcher just wanted to do something all on his own. But yeah, this is the debut album from his solo band, and as far as like any other notable members, you have on, I believe, guitars, Frederick Folkar, who was formerly of Necrophobic, Firespawn, currently in Unleashed, but the drummer that we have on this album is a pretty big one, formerly of Witchery, Opeth, currently in Bloodbath, Martin Axelrod, and of course everybody's got stage names, so that's something right there. So yeah, Hellbutcher from Nifelheim. Now, I will full out confess, I have not checked out much of Nifelheim, even though I know they were like a huge staple of black and thrash out of Sweden, but I just never got around to checking them out. But when I saw this project from Hellbutcher, I'm like, you know what? I'll give this a shot and see what it's all about and figure out what Hellbutcher's all about. And I gotta say, I was not ready for how much fun this album would be. Kind of like that Troops of Doom album I talked about yesterday. This one, almost as fun as that, I will say. Kicking things off with one of the longer tracks, The Sword of Wrath, starts off with this, like, dissection-esque harmonized melody before you go straight into blackened thrash territory, and there's even like some cool blackened tremolo melodies to kind of further enhance that black metal side to Hellbutcher. And even Hellbutcher's vocals, I gotta say, for black metal vocals, these are probably some of the strongest black metal vocals I have heard in a long time. I will fully admit to that. And then even later, as the song continues, there's this cool dark melody that leads to shredding leads, which I will say, top to bottom across the board, the lead work, it's just shred-tastic and very dynamic. And even some later songs kind of gets a little bit more melodic with the guitar solos, which I can definitely appreciate. Perdition, this one kind of has a hodgepodge of a few different things. There's some double time rhythms, there's blackened blast beats, but you also get like riffs that remind me a lot of Sodom, like that Obsessed by Cruelty into Persecution Mania era of Sodom, where it's still got a little bit of that blackened feel to it. So I'm like, am I listening to old Sodom all of a sudden? But then you even get like an odd solo that leads into Shred-tastic, Shredderson and Shreddersville. That made absolutely no sense, but who gives a shit? Violent Destruction. Now this one is where you start to get a bit of a turn in the album, where it starts to kind of showcase a little bit more classic heavy metal and speed metal nods. Like the opening riffs definitely remind me a lot of classic heavy metal, and then it turns into basically a speed metal song with the D beats and the riff work. Kind of reminds me of the band Cat from Poland. And yeah, it just kind of reminded me of that band a little bit. Hordes of the Horned God. This one definitely has some more going on. Like, you get this melodic riff to start off, and then you get into like blackened thrash energy, and this time it feels more like early Bathory, like the self-titled and the Return, like that particular era of Bathory. I would say more so the self-titled than the Return, but it kind of had that like party sleaze evilness to it. And then even the lead, I gotta admit, on this song, kind of a bit of a sexy lead, I gotta be honest with myself. But then suddenly the song shifts from early Bathory to Iron Maiden gallops. So I can definitely tell Hellbutcher loves his classic heavy metal, and who doesn't love classic heavy metal? Death's Rider, this one definitely brings in a lot of Motorhead vibes. Like the riff work on this track definitely reminds me a lot of stuff that like Eddie Clarke or Phil Campbell would have done for Motorhead, and it's all mostly D-beat oriented. And then Possessed by the Devil's Flames, this one kind of brings in something else to the album. Well, first off, Lots of Judas Priest worship on here when it comes down to the riffs and the leads. It does get thrashy later in the song, but there's some dissonant, clean melodies that kind of pop up on this song, and I didn't expect to hear dissonance on a black and thrash album, but lo and behold, here we are. Satan's Power. This one reminds me a lot of Hellripper. Like, it has that like balance between black and thrash, black and speed, and classic heavy metal kind of all wrapped together into one package. And then even when it comes to the leads here, there's lots of dive bombs, some dark melodies, and of course, shred. And then we end the album with Inferno's Rage, which this one definitely has, I would say, the most black metal oriented moments of anything on this album. It starts off with blackened tremolos and blasts, but then it goes back into more of that blackened thrash territory. And this is the song where the leads got a little bit more melodic and a little more atmospheric, if you want to say that. But that's how we end this. So, as far as production goes, it's raw, it's gritty. Although I will say I do wish the bass could have cut through a little bit more in the mix for my taste, but I do appreciate the raw quality of the production. Kind of makes it feel very much old school 80s. Uh, Extreme metal, thrash metal, classic heavy metal, what have you. And as far as like the performances, like everybody was at the top of their game. You know, Martin just going nuts on the drums. Hellbutcher's vocals are absolutely strong. The riff work is awesome. The lead work was flying and all flying and all blah 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 blah. I can't even fucking speak. Flying on all cylinders. That's what I was trying to say. Me and my minor dyslexia sometimes, I swear to God. But overall, I thought this was a hell of an album, no pun intended. I am going to give this a 4 out of 5. I thought this was a great album, and who knows if this is just a temporary thing for Hellbutcher or if Nifelheim will ever get back together to do some more stuff. That remains to be seen, but if we stay with this Hellbutcher project, I'm all for more. But of course, those are just my opinions. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.
Thank you for your patronage.